We welcome you into Lake Point Champion Center into the 17U Battle for Georgia Championship. Joe Hillsman, John Morgo, Sylvester Williams courtside here from the main court, Court 8, and it is the Georgia Knights taking on the Atlanta Celtics. The Celtics with victories over the Warner Robin All-Stars and the Georgia Stars, while the Georgia Knights have victory over Team Georgia Magic and Team Forest. So, Sly, we'll start with you. First off, what have you seen from these two teams, either one of them today so far?
Well, I've been lucky enough to see the Celtics play all three games, and the Celtics, man, when they go downhill, there's nobody in America who can stop them when they go downhill. Between Odom and Smith going downhill, they're like freight trains. They're like the juggernaut from the X-Men. And then here's the thing. Tenori Lane can shoot. Look out, world. Tenori Lane is a dead-eye shooter all day long. He's been knocking down threes. They are so scary, so scary, so scary.
And, John, on the flip side, what have you seen from either team today?
Well, I was with Sylvester with the Atlanta Celtics matchup. Haven't seen the Knights as of yet, but boy, he was talking about Byron Matos before the game, and Matos really was a strong component early on, not so much later. I just love the way the Celtics play as a team, everybody rolling off of each other. They didn't seem to have any weaknesses in that matchup that we called with them earlier.
We get ready for the 17 and under championship game right here. The Celtics, they will all be in green. Green tops, green bottoms. They've got black numbers with white trim. The Georgia Knights, they'll be all in white, white tops, white bottoms, black numbers, and orange trim. It is a fun, fun day inside of Lake Point Champion Center. Get your popcorn ready. DeJuan Odom and his squad are on the floor. Jumping it up will be Bryson Matos for the Celtics. And Chris Youngblood for the Knights. The tip comes into the back. The Xavier commit chases it down, toes the line. DeJuan Odom and hands it off to Caleb Murphy. Murphy will come across the timeline with the right-hand dribble. He's picked up. There is a 2 16-minute halves and the 30-second shot clock. Tenori Lane, fine left-hander, lost it out of bounds, and a turnover for the Celtics on their opening possession.
Interesting on that opening tip, Chris Youngblood from the Georgia Knights didn't even bother contesting it, didn't jump at all, letting Matos do what he wanted with it.
Ramon Sun running it and gives it over to Kershawn Thrash. Thrash now down to Youngblood underneath. Play up on the glass is good. Brandon Stroud. So this Georgia Knights team is quite loaded. We'll run through that roster for you, where they play on the high school scene and what they've done on the travel ball circuit. You'll see them right now trying to play for 17U, Battle for Georgia Travel Ball Championship. Murphy the jumper. It is short. Rebound hits the floor, and it's picked up by Raspberry. Raspberry running in transition. Pass deflected out of bounds by Davon Smith. It'll be night basketball.
One thing I like about the Knights are one of the independent teams, not a shoe-sponsored team, and they made the final, just to show the type of talent that you have in Georgia. This is an independent team battling with the big ones.
Three ball, Brandon Stroud. He has the first 5 points. A corner triple is good. Sly, you brought up that point. I'm so tired of hearing shoe team versus non-shoe team. I'm literally tired of it simply because have you been to a shoe team event? I've seen teams in shoe team events get beat by 25 and 30 as well. I've seen non-shoe teams do pretty well. What a shoe team means is they're just sponsored.
Exactly.
So they look good getting off the bus.
Exactly.
Or let me correct that. Getting out of the van. Right.
I like the fact that you have an independent team and they don't have the hoopla behind them. See, that's what I enjoy about it. I love seeing independent teams beat shoe sponsor teams. I'm not going to tell you a lie.
Yeah, we know you go for the fancy, but hoopla behind them. Did you see this roster?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so that's hoopla in itself. That's a beautiful drive and a foul hard going to the hoop, Anderson Garcia. I mean, look, you got 2 state champs on the Georgia Knight team, and then 3 people that went deep into the state playoffs if you want to look at it from that context. Free throw from Garcia is good. Anderson Garcia at the free throw line. 6'8", out of Hamilton Heights, Tennessee. Chattanooga area, a basketball factory is Hamilton Heights. Free throw good. If you are a big SUV TV watcher, you know who Treasure Hunt is.
Speaking of Treasure Hunt, I was joking with the 2 guys with Hamilton Heights. I was like, you guys are good, but I don't know if you can beat the girls' team.
Treasure Hunt is special. Tenori Lane will pull a right wing 3. It is in and out, no good. Rebound skipped off. Here's Raspberry, quick step ahead to Youngblood. Youngblood layup good over the lip of the rim. Chris Youngblood recently committed to Kennesaw State University. Behind the back, Davon. Floater, no good. Rebound is ripped off by Thrash.
I love what Kennesaw State's doing, man, trying to get some of these in-state recruits and keeping them home. I love it.
Stroud, 3. No good. Dewan Odom gets the board.
Yeah, Coach Abdul Rahim made that a priority when he took that job, and he's really living up to it.
Garcia had the pass knocked away and stolen. Here comes Youngblood. Youngblood running all the way. Youngblood knocked away from behind by Davon Smith, and it will stay with the Georgia Knights. A timeout is called with 13:49 to go. The Georgia Knights 7, Atlanta Celtics 2. Just to piggyback on that point, though, when you have a coaching change like that with Abdul Rahim, the first thing I think you should do at any school is tap into your own state at that level. The resources of there. Kennesaw State, for those of you who are watching outside of the Georgia and the Atlanta area, it's a I'm going to like to say it's a fad school. It's a trending school, trending up, and the basketball program has been buoying in the water for quite some time. But when you look at some of the additions, Armani Harris has accepted and went there. Terrell Burden has accepted and went there. These are guys that have played very good level, high school basketball, now trying to transition that over to the collegiate game. And the opportunity is presenting itself. And will do. You
know, it's a fact I didn't know. When they merged with, I think, Polytech, they became the largest They became the largest college in the state of Georgia.
I think Georgia State is once they merged with Georgia Perimeter.
Oh, that is right. Once Georgia State merged with Perimeter.
Out of the timeout, couldn't get it to go, but in a tip, second chance opportunity. Kershawn Thrash with the offensive rebound and second chance opportunity. It is a 7-point lead for the night. So slow out of the gate are the Celtics. Here's Davon Smith. Davon out of Grayson High School picked up the dribble, gives it to Caleb Murphy out of Grayson High School. Murphy going to attack, pass to Garcia, through his hands, and a turnover out of bounds for the Celtics. So a sluggish start for the Celtics. Now Issa Muhammad will check into the contest, formerly of Norcross High School.
Well, the Celtics had a 20-point lead over the last game. We did Georgia Stars 47-27 at the half, so they start out strong, and that one wound up winning by 30. Hopefully the momentum didn't go out when they changed their jerseys to this all-green ensemble.
Oh, John Morgo reaching down in the book of superstitions as Kevon Thrash goes and scores again. He has 4 points in the contest. Here's Murphy on a drive. Caleb Murphy, he missed it at the rim. Rebound, here comes Youngblood in transition. They've got numbers 3-on-1. Youngblood all the way to the hoop with the right hand. No follow-up. Blocking foul called on the shot. Youngblood will go to the free throw line. Youngblood kind of come up holding his hip a little bit. Maybe I guess he's all right. Quick little pain from the fall, but Youngblood will go to the free throw line. East Coweta High School. East Coweta making big noise in the state of Georgia in Class 7A last year, but then all of a sudden got boomed with injuries and then had to play McEachern at home on the road in the first round, and the season ended before it started almost.
That's always a tough draw when you look down and you see you have to end up playing McEachern. One of the best teams in the nation, you have to play them in the first round of the playoffs. That's never fun.
Youngblood free throws. No, he missed them both. So Youngblood struggling from the line here in the early going. He's 0 of 2. He has 2 points, a little more than 3 minutes gone by. Here's Dewan Odom. He gives it back to Davon Smith.
Well, we don't know if McEachern's one of the best teams in the nation.
You are absolutely correct.
Exactly.
Here's Muhammad. Muhammad to Murphy, and he recovered it. Spins it to the corner. Open. It's a long three. It is no good by Odom. Rebound comes off now to Stroud. Stroud.
You could argue they were one of the best teams in Georgia last season.
Well, Georgia, yeah.
But unfortunately, they didn't get a chance to prove it on the national stage.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to leave it alone. Tip put back in by Chris Youngblood. They had the chance, John.
Oh, yeah, they had the chance.
They had the chance.
They chose not to.
There's a jumper by Smith, no good. Rebound, Muhammad up and in and scores. So second chance opportunity for Issa Muhammad.
See, I like that what Muhammad did. Catch it up high, leave it up high.
Floater, short corner is good from Chris Youngblood. Youngblood now quickly getting the tally up. He has 6 points. It is a 12-point Georgia Knight lead. 4 minutes gone. Here's Odom. Odom going to attack on the baseline, stop, cross-court pass, and hit the underneath part of the basket. And now here come the Knights running in transition. Sun gives it off, drop, sit down low, Thrash, walk with the ball. Oh, Kershawn Thrash hit with a turnover. Ramon Sun into the contest number 11. He was running the point right there for the Knights, and he has been fitted for a state championship ring, taking Thurl to the state championship and winning it first in school history. How about that, Sly? Tri-Cities and Thurl win their first state championships in any sport in basketball in the same season, in the same building, in the Macon Center play.
I'm telling you, I was down there when Tri-Cities won, and I would have thought they brought all of Hapeville, East Point, and College Park down there with them. Man, that was a great crowd between Tucker and Tri-Cities. That was a great game. And then when the kid hits that shot, walks up and steps into that out-of-state three-pointer to win the game, it doesn't get any better than that in the high school level. It doesn't.
That's what you live for in the high school game. Something you can remember all your life.
A drive-in score by Caleb Murphy, his first field goal. So the lead now down to 10. The Celtics right now, they still look like they have not gotten up out of bed. Sun operating between the rings. Goes down the lane, use the body as a shield and scores a nice move. Ramon Sun with a nice move and score.
They're giving Sun space to operate that time. A lot of room for him to do his magic.
Caleb Murphy now trying to warm to the task. Back-to-back field goals for Caleb Murphy. Sun with a fake and drives. Right hand up. No. Odom gets the board. Now here comes Odom pushing it. DeJuan Odom in transition. Up ahead to Muhammad. Muhammad goes up. He was contested in the foul. Good job, Brandon Stroud. No layups. So Issa Muhammad will have to go to the free throw line.
See, I love that. I love the aggressiveness out of Stroud. And, that's what they coach down there in East Coweta, man. It's no softies, nothing easy down there. They're a bunch of hard-working kids who can play some good ball.
Muhammad got the roll on the free throw. Issa Muhammad. The thing about it, with DeJuan Odom, Davon Smith, Caleb Murphy, and Tanari Lane on the floor right now at the same time, I just will not believe this ball game is over and they won't have some impact on the game. Stroud goes baseline, no. Rebound, Thrash. Thrash turns, left-handed, rolled off. Thrash fought for the rebound. It's on the floor. Coming away with it is Lane. Here comes Tanari Lane. Lane running in transition up ahead to Davon. Davon Smith now in the corner. Stop. And a traveling violation. A little miscommunication. You're looking at Lane, Murphy, and Davon Smith. So, Sly, you can count this as your Grayson preview.
Oh, yeah.
For this upcoming season. I know you like to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Thrash, a bevy of move, looking like a young Sylvester Williams. He put it in with the right-hand hook.
And, that's what I love. I love to see a big guard down there and work on the block. Show you can use your body. Some of these high school players, use your body. Use that width you have down there to get some separation and get the easy hook.
10-point game. Lane left it short, and now here comes Raspberry. Raspberry up to Youngblood. Stop, pop a three. No, high rebound is tipped. Nice, the Sun. Sun has it. Youngblood turns underneath, flipped it up on the lane. No, they fight for it. Comes back out the Sun, they'll reset it. No new shot clock. Yes, they do reset it now, and that's exactly what they blew the whistle for because I was looking at that as well.
Exactly, and that's why they're calling time. They're going to reset everything and give, at least I think they are.
I think they're going to go down to 27. Okay.
Yeah, that's what it should have been.
30-second shot clock. I have no problem with it. I know someone just said, well, that's why they don't need a high school shot clock. I know someone just said that. Stroud now spins it over to Sun. But see, it's so second nature to us basketball people to look up for it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So here's Stroud. Stroud poking around, 10 on the shot clock. Sun hesitates down the left of the lane. Took the bump on Muhammad and scored.
I love that. I love that.
Great bump. Give himself the room to get that jumper in.
And the thing is, what I like, he bumped the 6'10", a big 6'11", 6'10" guy. Just bumped him out the way.
Murphy stops, almost travel, gets it away. So Muhammad is going to show the range. Short on the three. Rebound to Thrash. Thrash puts it on the floor with the left hand. Now he's serving. But Odom came in and got called for a foul. I don't agree with it. It happened 6 feet in front of us, and a young lady, who's a fine official in Georgia. I just don't agree with that one.
Let's take a look at the replay. I'm not sure if we got a good angle on it from this particular vantage point.
Well, just close your eyes and look at it how we just saw it in front of us more ago. It wasn't a foul. So
nah, that was all day. Clean pick.
That's called cookies. Thrash Drives all the way, put it up with the left hand, no. Tipped in, no. Rebound the lane. Lane gives it over to Davon Smith. They're running in transition 8 minutes ago. Smith is going to go all the way down the lane, poked off of his hand, and out of bounds. So reaching in, Ben Raspberry poked it, and it goes off of Davon Smith's leg and out of bounds. A turnover. Right now, I'm going to say it again, at the 8-minute mark, I'm waiting on the Celtics to wake up.
Well, Caleb Murphy had that back-to-back field goals. They haven't been able to go back to him. I think he's out of the game. No, there he is, right there.
Forward pass.
Always
and
look for the hair. Always look for the hair when I look for Caleb Murphy.
Yes, Caleb Murphy. You can count on that.
And Anderson Garcia, too.
Caleb Murphy has had the same hairstyle since the 8th grade. Or the same amount of hair. Let me say it that way. Murphy on the wing. Tricky dribble. Going to go baseline. Nice move, Caleb Murphy. He has 6 points. He's been the one bright offensive spot so far for the Celtics in the contest.
You call that one, John. He said go back to Caleb.
And he's shown a lot of versatility with his moves. That time he went left side. The other 2 times he scored, he went right side.
And you know what, Sly, to piggyback off of Morgo's comment there, he looks a little bit more offensively minded to score than we've seen previously.
Well, in our last game, Sly had the comment that Caleb Murphy's going to have to be a point guard in college if he wants to get to that level. But right now, he's just diversifying his game, showing he can get whatever needs to be done. He's the one who can do it.
Sly, what coach told you that?
I think he has to play point guard on the next level. I don't think. No.
I asked you what coach told you that.
Coach Sylvester Williams.
that's what I was waiting on.
I think I see him. I see Murphy. Just talk about Odom. But I see Murphy as a point guard on the next level. I really do. I love the way he handles the ball. I love his basketball IQ, you know. But he's just played in a system where he's had great point guards. You know, he's had great point guards, so he never had to be a point guard. And if you notice this summer, he's been bringing the ball up the court a lot, especially when Smith's not on the court. He's been running the point a lot this summer for the Celtics.
A timeout is called. We'll keep it right here. The Knights 24, the Celtics 14 with 6:43 to go. I agree with you, Sly. You know I ain't worked with you in a while, so I got to give you a little hard time. But I saw him play off the ball during the summer explosion with his Grayson team. No Davon Smith was there. He was at an All-American camp. It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I think if his jumper continues to improve, he's going to make it very difficult to keep him off the floor whether he's on or off the ball.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think he can play 2 guard on the next level. Don't get me wrong, because I think he can play 2. But I think he would make a good fit for somebody as a point guard because I like his basketball IQ and I like how he can handle the ball. It's just I don't think he's been in the situation during the high school season to play point guard.
No, not when he was
not
previously at Norcross.
No.
I mean, you had Kyle Sturdivant.
Exactly.
And then before that, White. Youngblood out of the timeout, down low to Thrash. The Youngblood who's cutting and layup, good. Beautiful way of moving without the basketball. Chris Youngblood, he's in double figures now with 10.
Another example of that lane opening up for him.
I wonder if fatigue is somewhat a factor for the Celtics at the moment. Baseline drive by Sun. The Stroud. Stroud back out. Youngblood pull a 3. Hill of the rim. No. Rebound to Garcia. Garcia going to run the break. He's got Davon with him. Blocking foul call on Ben Raspberry.
You know, it's a good thing. It's a good thing you brought that up. You said fatigue with the Atlanta Celtics. If you look, they don't have that deep of a bench, and especially all their bigs are on the floor. I mean, all their bigs are on the bench. So they're just out there running straight guards right now. You know, with Garcia being the pseudo big man. You know, Garcia's a wing. He plays I guess he plays in the post if you need him.
And they are up and down the floor team. Smith 3, no good. The thing about it is they're missing shots badly. Davon got the rebound, goes up, and he was fouled. So he'll go to the free throw line. 5:51 to go, 26-14. The Georgia Knights with a 12-point lead.
This kid is one of the best rebounding guards I think I've seen.
He's very, very he puts me in the mind of a Rondo.
Yeah.
Rebounding from a guard position. Smith free throw good. Davon, it's his first points of the game. I'm looking at our officiating crew, and I must say it is a pretty good crew overall. I talked about the young lady. She's got a great rep, but I look at our other two officials, and they're pretty good refs. Can't get mad at the crew, and that's why. And one. Chris Youngblood is having himself a whale of a first half. He has 12 points in the contest now. It's a 12-point night lead, and he's at the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play.
Look at the give and go he gets on that instance from Stroud.
It's good. So Chris Youngblood now is having himself a pretty good first half. It's 29-16, the Knights lead the Celtics. Here's Lane. Lane jumper counted and the foul. Tenari Lane hit on the elbow. That may get him going. He'll go to the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play.
You know, one thing I like what the Knights are doing is stopping the Celtics from running. The Celtics, they get out in the open floor, and they run the open floor so well. They hadn't been many opportunities for them to get out and run with the Knights, man. I think that's one of the reasons you got an 11-point game right now.
That's true, but then at the same time, I think the Knights are just coming out right now. They and I don't want to harp on this too much, but they are looking at sponsored versus non-sponsored. They're looking at the fact that if we beat this shoe team going into the rest of July, it could set the tone for us.
And it definitely puts a chip on their shoulders, thinking that they would be considered an underdog against a shoe team. Although the Knights are definitely well-rounded here. They've been able to move very well without the ball, and they're very good at getting open space for their teammates to go in and exploit it.
We're talking about the fouls on the scoreboard. I told you it was a good crew, not letting anything go by. She wants the fouls to be swapped on the scoreboard to make sure it is right. 5:31 to go. And Tenari Lane at the free throw line. His first 3 high school seasons at Shiloh, and now we'll be going over to Grayson.
You know what? I love the evolution of his game. You remember when he first came in as a freshman, he was a space eater on the inside, and he just kind of dominated around that free throw and down area, and now he can play on the outside, one of the top wings in the state, being recruited by just about everybody.
And completes the three-point play. And he's a lefty.
And he's a lefty, yep.
He's going to quietly surprise someone when he's a sophomore in college.
Oh, yeah.
And, you're going to be sitting up talking about where did he come from. On the break, there it is, Murphy to Odom, and that may have been what they needed. It's down to 8 as we come up on 5 minutes to go. Joel Hilsman, John Morgo, Sylvester Williams, Inside Lake Point champions. Center in our SUV TV courtside seats. DeJuan Odom shot the passing lane. Yes, sir.
And Joel gets the ball.
Protect the equipment. Rule number 1.
That's not protecting the basketball, the equipment. That's just quick hands.
Hey, rule number 1, protect the equipment.
Well, when you make your living on press row as we do, at least once a season, you're going to get a basketball in the face.
I'm not never. Sorry about that, Miss Neal. Davon Smith chin-ups. Davon Smith with a chin-up dunk. I've never sat press row and been hit in the face with a basketball, John. Never. Now, you may be speaking for yourself.
Well, it's coming at you. The trick is getting your hands in front of it.
Once again, John Morgo speaking for himself. I'm just going to I hadn't worked with you guys, so I'm going to give you a hard time a little bit today. 29-23, 6-point ball game, 4:27 to go. You take a look at Davon Smith. Chin-ups. I don't know if you guys saw the dunk that he had in the team count.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I got to speak with him, and I said, Davon, why did you dunk on Buddy like that? And he looked at me and he said, I didn't think he was going to jump. Rebound comes off to Odom. Odom gets it up ahead. Here's Davon Smith, slows down, hesitates, floats it up with the right hand. On cue, Davon Smith. So now Smith and Odom get it going, and all of a sudden, the 12-point lead is down to 4. Under 4 minutes to go. It's 29-25. Here's the thing now for the Knights. Can they withstand it? And there's the answer by Ramon's son. I was just going to say, can they withstand this burst? Was it good energy to get the lead? And now with the Celtics getting their legs under them, how will it be? Murphy, 3-ball. It's offline. Rebound is the Youngblood. Youngblood running the break in the middle. Youngblood down the lane on the left right-hand layup. Good over the lip of the rim.
Oh, Chris Youngblood deciding I'm going to take care of this myself. The Celtics look like they're playing with more energy. The Knights have to answer. Last 2 times down the court, they did answer.
Odom, 3, top side, back iron. Garcia in on the board and a foul. Right now, Chris Youngblood, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15 points to lead all scorers. And he is playing very well. But right now, I just like overall the chemistry and the play soundly, offensively and defensively so far from the Knights. Anderson Garcia, Hamilton Heights, he's at the free throw line. He rattles home the first one. So he's 3 of 3 from the free throw line. 3:13 to go. Substitution in just a moment. He'll be subbing for the shooter.
But the Celtics, they are very balanced. Nobody has more than 6 points. Actually, now Garcia now has 4. Murphy's got 6. Smith's got 6. Very balanced scoring. Like I said, this is a team that doesn't have many weaknesses. They just have to play with more energy. We saw that outburst a couple minutes ago that allowed them to cut it to 4. They have to equal that, as now it's back to 7.
Matt Davis, a sniper, is into the contest for the Celtics, number 12. Inside, Thrash lost it, whistle.
You know what? That didn't go, but I like what happened. I like what Frederick saw. Fredericks had Smith guarding him, and he said mouse. He said mouse in the house when he had him on his hip. And he stood there and fought for position to get the ball. It didn't go, but I like the mindset that Fredericks had.
I like that, Sly. You know what they call a mouse in the house, too? You know what a mouse likes, right?
Cheese.
Free cheese.
Free cheese.
Free cheese. 6-point ball game, 34-27, 2:54 remaining.
And so he went right back to him on the block.
Rashawn Frederick going to get hit with the offensive foul, though. And it wasn't the first bump. It was the second.
The second one. Mm-hmm.
What's the old saying? They don't catch the first, but they catch the reaction?
The second one and the extension. Once you extend the arm, they're going to get you. Lane, top side, 3-ball. It is off. Murphy tried to chase down the board. Youngblood corrals it. Youngblood, long lead, pass up ahead to Sun. Sun now going to come right down the lane, flip it up over Davis and score. We went up under Davis and flipped it up the window. Ramon Sun now with 9 points. And the lead back to 9. 2:29. Lane going to go baseline. Spins it out. Odom recovers. Odom, and dunked it. No good, in and out. And they volleyball it out to Youngblood. Youngblood kicks it up to Cedric. The Frederick out of bounds. It will go to the Celtics.
God, he was so high up in there.
It was.
Yeah.
Like they put a trampoline underneath right near in the paint.
The athleticism of DeJuan Odom, though, has been on display on SUV TV for about 19 years. Because every time we show up, he shows up. And when he shows up and we don't show up, we wonder why we didn't. He'll show up at Xavier. An absolute steal for Jonas Hayes. Also with Daniel Ramsey. Going to the 5-1-3, Cincinnati.
And such an incredible hotbed of hoops, Cincinnati. Whether with the Bearcats, Dayton is close by. It's the home of flying to the hoop. It's just an area that really enjoys its basketball, and you should fit in really well over there.
You just brought up flying in the hoops endorser now, Sylvester Williams. You're sitting right beside him.
I tell you, second best tournament in the nation, flying to the hoop.
So what's the best?
I want to say down there in Florida, Palm, City of Palms.
I would have to say that as well. 8 points as Murphy makes both free throws. And the pass is stolen by Lane. Lane came back and shot it and got the steal. He puts it on the floor right hand. Now to Odom. Odom is going to come downhill. Odom up off the window and a foul. So now all of a sudden the Celtics are attacking and getting to the free throw line. The Knights are in the double bonus. So 2 shots the rest of the way, even though that is a shooting foul. DeJuan Odom has 4 points in the contest. He's going to the free throw line.
And I want to make this fact clear. City of Palms may be the best tournament, but flying to the hoop have the best fans out of any tournament in the nation. We were in a snowstorm for the past 2 years, a snowstorm that shut down major highways, and they still sold the place out 4 days in a row.
Well, there's nothing to do. So.
It is nothing to do in Ohio in the middle of winter, except watch flying to the hoop.
Both free throws from Odom are good. It's a 5-point game. close as it's been is 4. Drive. His shot was blocked by Davis. Right back to Raspberry, and Davis goes on the floor, gets the steal. Here comes Lane. They've got number 3 on 2. Lane all the way, right hand, no, follow. Murphy, yes! Down the 3. 36-33, 90 seconds, first half. Thrash, inside, Frederick, layup, it rolled off. Here comes Murphy. Caleb Murphy running over to Davon. Davon behind the back. Davis, step back, gives it to Odom. Odom coming downhill. Odom took the bump off the window. It's a 1-point game. Go on, Odom.
Once these guys get the running, it's hard to stop them.
Son, the Thrash, 70 seconds. Thrash backing in on Davon. Here comes the double. He had to pick up the dribble. Back to Youngblood. Youngblood back to Thrash. Layup good. Nice give and go action. Slow sharing and caring. 4 points in the contest for Kershaw Thrash. Odom out to Smith. Missed it. Up ahead. Here's Youngblood. Youngblood. 14-footer. No. Rebound came out. Picked up by Frederick. Frederick to Raspberry. Raspberry. Jumper. No. Tip. Yes. By Kershaw Thrash.
I noticed how you said Tenori Lane's going to shock some people in 2 years when he's in college. I think Youngblood is going to be that guy who ruins somebody's bracket in the next couple of years. Kennesaw State's going to make it to the NCAA tournament, and Youngblood's going to ruin somebody's bracket in the next couple of years.
Backdoor cut. I like it. Now, the people up in Liberty, Virginia may have something to say about that. Oh, nice little jumper. Oh, fish in a barrel right there for Chris Youngblood. All of a sudden, do you realize, folks, it's a 6-0 run since they cut it to 1? Mm-hmm. It was 36-35, and they had the momentum, and all of a sudden they answered back with a 6-0 run. Foul call, Davon Smith going to the free throw line. The Knights did not agree with it, and the faithful crowd on both sides of the Lake Point Champions main court arena voiced their opinion loudly. Smith free throw, no good. If I was to agree with the crowd, I would say ball don't lie.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, though, he got away with one on the play earlier. He was fouled on the play earlier, and they didn't call it. So I guess you call it a makeup call.
Split the free throws. To beat the horn, that should count.
Nope.
Tyrus, that should count, Tyrus. He got that off, Tyrus. They're going to get together and talk about it. That should count. I'm sorry, Tyrus is the ref. That counted. Ben Raspberry, that should count.
Well, here's
count it. There we go. Ben Raspberry, it counts. We go to the half. It is the Georgia Knights 44 and Atlanta Celtics 36. The 17U championship game for the Battle of Georgia.
Stolen in the lane by Tracy. Here's Williamson, makes his way around one Titan. Now hustling in toward the lane and throws it down. That's what the crowd had been waiting on. A fantastic dunk coming in by Williamson. Elevated from almost the free throw line and finished strong. 7-point lead for Spartanburg Day, their biggest of the night. Three-pointer no good. Crawford in the lane finishes and one. A huge basket for Trinity Burns to get a little momentum and energy back on their side after it seemed like the entire gym was up for Spartanburg Day and Zion Williamson.
Every time we open our doors, we change just a little bit. Every blade of grass, every rose petal, every pen location. But the one thing that doesn't change is our commitment to an exceptional golfing experience. Being prepared to give it our all 364 days a year is not just a credo, it's our soul.
He'll come off the double screen to the left. Oh, and wide open underneath. Sexton goes step back, fade away three. Oh, my goodness. Colin Sexton. In the lane by Tracy. Here's Williamson, makes his way around one tight. Now hustling in toward the lane and throws it down. That's what the crowd had been waiting on. A fantastic dunk coming in by Williamson. Trent, off balance jumper.
Nailed it. Pierre to Gary Trent Jr. And oh my goodness, that's how you end the game, folks.
We begin the second half of the 17U Battle for Georgia Championship. The Georgia Knights and the Atlanta Celtics. Joe Hillsman, John Morrigo, Sylvester Williams. Glad that you're with us. We're in our SUV TV courtside seats.
Best seats in the house for this one.
The Knights in white, the Celtics in green. Taking a look quickly at some first half numbers. Chris Youngblood, 17 points. Kershawn Thrash, 10 points to lead the Knights. For the Celtics, 10 points from Caleb Murphy, 8 from Odom, and 7 from Davon Smith.
And I'm going to say this again. I just like the way the Celtics diversify with the way they spread it around. But Sylvester, I'm going to go off a point you made. The Knights have their best success when they can stop the Celtics from running.
Tenari Lane scores.
I like when Tenari plays that bully ball down low, man. Gets back to his roots.
Only 6 players have scored for the Celtics. And one took the contact. A nice move, Kershawn Thrash, out of Eagles Landing High School. He was very responsible for their run last year. And they've got a good middle school program. They got a good crop of freshmen coming in. It's going to be very, very good, trying to bring Henry County basketball up.
You know, that's one of my things about Georgia basketball that bothers me. You know, middle schoolers can't play high school ball.
In public school.
In public school, yeah. In public school, they can't play high school ball. And, you know, for the boys, it really, you know, it's a rare occasion for the boys that you have an 8th grader who's good enough to play. But there's some girls down there in that Clayton County area, Henry County area, that in the 8th grade that should be playing varsity.
Ball back to the basket, move, no good. Rebound comes off now to the Knights. They'll go in a transition. Ben Raspberry out of New Manchester has played pretty well for the Knights. There's a pass down low. Frederick kicks it back. Raspberry attacks. Turnover. Not a bad pass.
Well, that's just a matter of taking the extra pass. You look at Frederick, he had an open look on that left side. Amazing how open he was, but he decided to forego it, do that extra pass. So you can see right here. Well,
yep, there it is. See, look, that one he should have shot. But see, when you had that big 6'10 guy coming, 6'9 guy coming at you, it makes you change your mind and think about some things. Have all that mass of humanity coming.
Matos back to the basket, jump hook and scores.
That's money right there. Every time he gets it right there, that's money.
Bayron Matos, his first field goal.
I don't think he played the first half, did he?
He did, very briefly.
Very briefly, man. They ran a guard-heavy rotation toward the end of that first half, like the last 10 minutes of the half probably.
Now in a zone. There's a jumper by Sun. It is short, no good. Rebound comes off to DeJuan Odom. Odom with the right hand dribble. He comes across the timeline, hesitate. Now going to go down the lane and put it up with the right hand and score. DeJuan Odom in double figures with 10. But if you notice the defensive adjustment from the Celtics, they've gone zone. This Knights team is good, but they can struggle from shooting it from the field. And the reason I say that, Ramon Sun and Rashad Frederick, I like them. They went to Thurl, but you guys, I don't know how much you followed me on Twitter. You both do.
I do.
I questioned could Thurl shoot the basketball from the perimeter when it became crunch time? They got away with it and won the state championship, but I look at the adjustment right now defensively to go to a zone for the Celtics. Let's say, hey, let's see if you can beat us from the outside, from the guard spot. Back to the basket, Matos underneath. A double dribble call. Wasn't that a good? You used to have that video game, didn't you?
Double dribble.
47 to 42. I know all of the kids are Googling now. Double
I don't know
dribble.
what that is.
But you know what? I like the mindset of that play. Even though they got the double dribble, I like the fact that they tried to get it down to Byron. But, you know, it didn't work with the double dribble. But the mindset was right.
Jumper, no good. Rebound by Matos. Here's Caleb Murphy. Murphy now will peel it back out. Worked on defensively by Stroud. Over to Davon Smith. They play pitch and catch around the horn now to Odom. Odom into Matos. They're trying to establish him on the block. I like it. Back out to Odom. Odom, three. Good. Inside out. Three ball is good.
See, a dominant big man is a jump shooter's dream. You know, if you're a wing player, you got a dominant big man, that's exactly what you need.
Back out. Youngblood put it on the floor. Stop. 16-footer. Chris Youngblood, bottom of the net. Youngblood now with 19 points in the contest. A 4-point night lead. So the Celtics got it down to 4. They got it to 3. They got it to 2. Then they got it to 1. The only thing they haven't done is tied it or take the lead. There's Lane fishing the barrel. Tenari Lane. Lane now with 7 points. 49-47. 12-20 less than that second half. Joel Hilsman, John Morgo, Sylvester Williams, glad that you're with us. The 17U championship at the Battle of Georgia inside Lake Point Champion Center. Knocked away. Sun gets the steal. Sun now pushes it to the middle. Ramon Sun drives, layup, no foul.
That was a very late foul. They're going to call it on Matos, I think.
I'm concurring with each and every one of you.
Here's Sun on the replay. Now watch, he's going to make that left, then back to the right, and I think it was
Anticipation call.
She assumed he was going to hit him.
Ramon Sun going to the free throw line. This is an area I'd like to see him improve, his free throw shooting and his perimeter shooting going into his senior season. The Sun is at the free throw line. First one is up and in good. Sun now in double figures with 10 points. The Georgia Knights today have defeated Team Georgia Magic and Team Forest in their 2 previous games, the quarterfinal and the semifinal. For the Atlanta Celtics, it was a victory over the Warner Robin All-Stars and the Georgia Stars. Both free throws good from Sun. 4-point game, 4 minutes gone, second half.
it was a 30-point win over the Georgia Stars for the Celtics. This game the Celtics never really were challenged in.
Quite different in this contest. They have not led at all in this contest. Sun saves it. Youngblood long past to Stroud. He caught it. He saved it back to Frederick. Frederick bounces it over. Now it's recovered up by Lane. Lane lead pass up to Odom. Odom stops, surveys, back to Murphy. Murphy catches, stops, goes in the corner of the lane, and they'll reset it. Davon Smith. Davon drives, one dribble, hanging in the air. No. Matos couldn't get the rebound. And now here comes Thrash in transition. Thrash, 13-foot float. No. It fell off. Put back up and in good. Chris Youngblood. He has 21.
Chris Youngblood is one of those players you run out of room on your scores book for, but in the way he just scores.
Drive by Murphy and score.
You need to put a new line for him, and it looks like Murphy, you might need to put a new line for him too.
Morgo, watch this. So what is the most interesting fact, Sylvester, about this Georgia Knights team dating back to last high school season? I need you to get what I just said.
Interesting fact.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
All right.
4 players on the court had one of the best games on SUV TV.
There you
last year.
go.
That's it.
You check out that SUV TV replay. Go and check our archives and watch East Coweta take on Thurl. A great game down there in East Coweta High School.
So there you go. You got Youngblood and Stroud, who defeated Sun and Frederick on the same team.
And did Youngblood hit the game-winning shot or Stroud hit the game-winning shot?
I don't remember.
think it might have been Stroud.
Youngblood, good. It was, now that you say it, and I think about it. Hassan was on the call with you and Barry. Hassan
Khan.
Giving you those baseline angles today. Foul call. 6-point ball game, 55-49, 10-10 to go. Second half.
And then it was a great atmosphere, too. I love what Coach Royal's doing down there in Coweta, just changing the mindset of the fans down there in Coweta, making basketball the thing to be, a place to be, the basketball game's the place to be down there in East Coweta.
I've often found that if you can do that, that's winning 60% of your battle.
Mm-hmm. Davon Smith has it. Under 10 minutes to go. Trending turn maybe is changing the culture.
You're changing the culture.
Lane now into Matos. Matos catches.
Oh,
Traveling.
no.
Okay, so now one thing I want you guys to notice. Now, this is what you do when you look at basketball and you analyze it.
Right.
He's catching that ball in the block, but it's always been what? It's always been this left block.
Yeah.
So now he's turning over that left shoulder. So obviously now I need to go see him on this right block.
But I think that's where he wants it, though. He wants it right there.
Well, as a defender now, I can't let him catch it down there. Layup in is good. Yeah, Youngblood.
That was Youngblood. They got to do something to defend him. 25 points right now.
Catch it again. Left block. If defensively now, you've got to force him to start doing something else. Now he cuts it in the middle. Oh, try to get in the middle foul. His arm was being held and the foul was called.
But the thing is, in a perfect world, yeah, you want to move him. You want to try to move him to the other block, but he's a big man.
He is.
He's a big man. And if he wants to go down there, not too many people are going to stop him from going down there.
I like it, though. He takes a seat. Issa Muhammad comes in. No, I love that he's going back to the block. He's going there and setting up, and that's where he wants it. As Coach Preston likes to say, what's your counter now? So let me see your counter. Oh, Odom turns, scores, and foul. 2-1, Odom. 15 in the game, going to the free throw line and trying to get the 16th.
See, that's another thing about Odom, man. Odom is just so strong around the basket, too, man. And look at the elevation he gets on that layup.
Very athletic. He's strong and fast.
Yeah.
He spun around Thrash like he wasn't even there.
Youngblood, one dribble, pull up, good.
Oh, my goodness. Chris Youngblood, man.
27 in the game for Chris Youngblood. Smith. A 2 for Davon Smith. He has 9 in the contest.
That's his first points of the half, actually.
It is. Youngblood has 27, you guys, and has not made 1 3.
That is a surprise.
That is 13 made field goals. Whew. Jumper, no. Rebound. Back tap. Chase down Brandon Stroud. Stroud, 2 dribbles, goes right down the lane. Offensive foul. Brandon Stroud.
I like that out of a big man to step up and take a charge. A lot of big men, they'll want to challenge the shot, see if they can block the shot. But just step up, boom, put your body on the line and take the charge for the team. Great heads-up play, heady play by Issa Muhammad.
Smith picked up the dribble, now to Murphy. Murphy waiting on the screen for Muhammad. Now he gives it over to Odom. Odom back to the basket on that right block. Odom turns, jumper, no. Rebound, Stroud. Long outlet pass to Youngblood. Youngblood goes. He was not challenged by Issa Muhammad and scores. He has 29 in the contest. 3 ball, lane, corner, bottom of the net.
Still only 4 players have scored for the Knights today.
5.
Oh, 5.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Raspberry stuck
Raspberry's
one
got
in there.
Yep, okay, I
New
got
Manchester.
that one.
Oh,
Whip pass into Matt Raspberry. He was like, look, Morgo, if you didn't have my 2 earlier, get this 2 now. Ben Raspberry on cue. Murphy, step back, jumper, no, rebound off the Thrash. Thrash running, they've got number 3 on 2. Now it's 3 on 3, stop, Raspberry, jumper, back-to-back field goal.
And you notice something, since Matos has came out, it's not the fact that Matos was doing a lot of scoring. He slowed the game down by getting the ball to him on the block. That slowed the game down, And even if he missed a shot, they weren't long rebounds that will let the Knights get out there and run like they were doing.
I'm sorry, Sly, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's a big deal that Matos is out the game, and you see how that score has just jumped right back up now that Matos is out.
It is a 9-point game, 65-56. Largest lead of the day was 12 by the Knights, and then it was cut to 136-35. But I think right now, if I want to harp in on one weakness for the Celtics, it's the defense. The defense right now is their biggest weakness in the contest.
Well, on several occasions, but you saw that on the last basket by Youngblood where Issa Muhammad just didn't even challenge him, kind of let him have it, didn't want to give up the foul. And I think that's part of it. Also part of it, Joel, you mentioned maybe a little tired from playing these strong 3 games.
And you notice you said something, Margot, didn't want to give up the foul. And it's so big. This is AAU. I mean, It's not like this is your regular season game and you're the only big that you have on the team. You got 2 other guys over there who are just as big as you, just as strong as you. So if you foul out, it doesn't really matter. You know? Hey, you got 5, 6 fouls, use them. All that money they're giving around in the NBA, I wanted to send my notice out.
I can give you 6 fouls easily. I can do that in 50 seconds.
Exactly. Give me a little bit. I got 6 hard fouls to give.
And 1 soft foul, I'll throw in for 3.
Exactly.
Lane, another 3. Tanari Lane out of the corner. He's hit back-to-back 3s. He's warming to the task now. He has 13 points.
Back-to-back 3, same spot, so Sylvester's going to have to do something to move him off that left corner.
Turnover. So right now, the timeout paying off for the Atlanta Celtics.
That's my thing. Now you go back, bring Matos back in the game and let them 2 play on that right side.
Murphy drove and had it knocked away. Raspberry comes away with it. Shovels it up to Sun. Sun lost it. Goes up and scores. Way to maintain your composure and score. He has 13. Davon Smith now over the lane. Lane back out to Smith. Smith directing the traffic, giving verbal instructions. Garcia comes and shows the screen. A good show by Thrash defensively. On the cut, the lane. Elbow, no. Rebound, Odom, Garcia, pump fake, put it on the floor, lost it. Out of bounds, it will go over to the Knights. Sly, I'm gonna have to sign up with you. I think right now, even with Garcia in the game, I think right now Matos would be the better option on the floor for the Celtics. I mean, I'm over here with a headset on, but still, I think right now he was doing something for you offensively. All tipped by Thrash and scored. See, Thrash wasn't having this amount of success.
Nope.
When Matos was in the game. He had 10 in the first half. He has 5 in his second half, 15 in the game, and all of those basically have been without Matos on it.
Exactly. And my thing is, another thing with Matos being in the lane, a lot of those easy layups and easy second chance shots that the Knights have been getting, if you have that big body in the lane, that kind of changes the mindset and changes the attack.
Yes, the defensive nature. That free throw will not count. Getting something squared away at the scorers table. On the final game of the day on a Sunday evening in Emerson, Georgia, SUV TV as we cross the top of the hour, Eastern Standard Time, Central Standard Time, Mountain Standard Time, which I know is John Morgo's favorite time. Oh, no, it's Pacific.
No, it's Pacific.
It's Pacific Standard
Time.
5:52 left in game time.
You know, I did not know. I found out today, John used to stay in Arizona.
Close. Well, I lived in Arizona for about 8 years.
Yeah, had no idea. See the great things we learned doing a 30-point blowout.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I tripped myself up, because Arizona is the only state now that does not observe daylight savings time anymore. So they don't change their time.
No, they just kind of go back and forth.
But during the summer, they fall on Pacific. During the winter, they fall on Mountain. But that's what threw me off, although I was thinking about Vegas. But that's just me trying to clean up that mess.
See, not only at SUV TV do we bring you exciting basketball action, we bring you these great facts.
Like as I was telling Sly, the mascot of Scottsdale Community College in Phoenix are the Fighting Artichokes.
There you
The
go.
Fighting Artichokes.
Yep.
I'm going to look at my producer, Lisa Burnett. He said the Fighting Artichokes.
And give them their fight song or their fight slogan.
No, please don't.
Let's go, Choke.
Let's go, choke.
Best school named after a vegetable.
You just keep on, don't you? You just keep on. Well, I look at my producer, Lisa Burnett, again. I don't know, Lisa, does that top the Huron River Rats? No. Yeah, okay, all right. The Ann Arbor River Rats.
Wow.
That's the high school nickname. Artichokes was close. But
Presbyterian Blue Holes.
Well, they may be the best school named after footwear. A close second would be the Chattanooga Moccasins, but that's a snake, not the shoe. So,
oh, my. Here we go. We open this box.
yep, can of worms has officially been unleashed.
I like the Atom Smashers and the Rail
They're good.
Splitters. So there you go.
What about the syrup makers?
Yes, yes. How could I forget about the syrup makers? Yes,
The Lincoln Rail Splitters. Johnson, Adams Smasher.
yes, yes.
Hey, man.
And the K-Rose syrup maker.
K-Rose Syrup.
Yeah. Those are my three favorite nicknames right off top.
Or the Columbia High Capitals.
Who?
Columbia High Capitals.
They're dysfunctional, aren't they?
Oh, that's the greatest high school
meant
in
defunct.
America.
Well, no, not because you went there.
Greatest high school in America.
Stroud on the floor.
That's beautiful.
The jumper is good, and the Knights, a more traditional nickname, go up 10 now.
See the way he got Anderson Garcia to go in the air. Once he did, just went under him and got that open look.
Garcia layup is in and scores from Caleb Murphy with 4:24 to go in a half. And in the game, it's 73-65. Down low pass, turnover. So now the Celtics, who have let to lead in the contest, have 4 minutes and 19 seconds to try and get the lead. The Knights continuing to play very sound basketball. In the corner. Now here comes Lane. Lane attacks up, no. Rebound comes off the Youngblood. Youngblood put it on the floor, now gives it over to Stroud. Stroud across the timeline, the lefty. Now gives it off. Inside. Raspberry lost it. Recovered underneath by Sun. Cutting Raspberry. Stolen. Here comes DeJuan Odom. Let him dunk it home. DeJuan Odom. Swing on the rim, young fella. 19 in the game. 11 and a half for DeJuan Odom. 6-point game. 3:40. Less than that.
Celtics not going away. They just have to play their kind of game, although I am kind of curious. So as I scan the court, wondering when Mr.
Ooh, Stroud rattles home a three.
And you know, that's one of those shots I was about to yell out. That's a terrible shot.
12 in the game for Brandon Stroud, but he shot it with confidence. And one thing is interesting. Stroud is guarding Lane. Lane is guarding Stroud. That's two lefties. Kind of cancels out something they're used to guarding a lefty or know how a lefty may move. 76-67.
There you have a palindrome.
3:13 to go. Joel Hilsman, John Morgo, Sylvester Williams, in our SUV TV courtside seats inside Lake Point Champion Center. Ramon Sun, Spinderella, no. Garcia rebound, fouls. And it's the 17U Battle of Georgia Championship will come down and shoot free throws. So now the Celtics have committed. They're in the bonus. The Knights now have committed their 10th team foul, so it'll be 2 shots the rest of the way. So the Celtics now have to take advantage of this as they're in the double bonus. 2 free throws the remainder of the game, and they're trailing 76-67. Garcia, first free throw, no good. It was the 1-and-1. 9th foul. They put up the double bonus sign. Garcia previously had been 4-4 from the free throw line. Stroud did not use the screen from Thrash. The jumper from the corner, no good. Rebound underneath by Ben Raspberry. Raspberry has came on quietly in this second half. 6 of his 8 points in the second half. Murphy stops, gets it back to Davon Smith. Davon now going to hesitate with the dribble, pull up with the left wing three. Good. Davon Smith. A 3-ball. 14 in the contest for Davon Smith. 8-point game. Almost a steal. Garcia going on the floor. Garcia tried to come away with it. They got tangled up. Foul call, and the foul will be on Stroud. And he's in disbelief, but yes, man. Yes, sir, I agree. You impeded Anderson from going going to get the ball.
Here it is on replay. Stroud lands on him.
Oh, yeah, he hooked him. He hooked him. You know, this is something you couldn't see on the replay. Garcia reached down to try to help up Stroud.
Yes.
And Murphy pulled him away. He said, nah, he's not on your team. He's not on your team. I love it.
I do too. Free throw is good.
I love it out there. I love it.
We have put so much on sportsmanship and good play that I think we are now also killing that competitive I don't like you when we're on the line, between the lines edge.
And that's my thing, man. Off the court, man, you can go and give him a high five, talk to him, be his best buddy. If you're on the court now, we're not on the same team.
Coming across the timeline now, it's Thrash. Thrash drives. The shot was bothered and blocked out of bounds by Anderson Garcia. I just think there's nothing wrong with not liking the person you're playing against.
Mm-hmm.
We've all had jobs. I don't think we liked everybody we went to work with. 78-72. Here's Youngblood. Youngblood now gives it. There's a drive. He kicks it off. Now back out to the top to Thrash. They're going to try and work on the clock. 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. Drive by Thrash and a foul.
Yes,
offensive foul call. Late in the shot clock. It's a turnover. Kershawn Thrash.
Now, that was a great play, and it worked perfect. He had perfect position, but I hate it. I hate it because he was underneath the basket. That should not be a charge in my perfect world.
No, he was outside of what would have been a restricted area. But also, Sly, you got to look at, you can't wait to get that late in the shot clock. Mm-hmm. You got to be aware of the shot clock.
Exactly.
Timeout call by the Atlanta Celtics with 1:44 to go, 78-72. As you take a look at the SUV TV instant replay again, because I'm going to let you know, here's the restricted area. Watch him step out.
Yeah, he's in the
out.
circle.
No, he's out of the
That's
circle.
in the circle. That's too close to the basket because that's in front of, behind that, what do you call it? Behind the first block.
That's the block.
Behind the first block.
The low block.
The low block.
Now take a look.
Look at that. That's inside the circle. And I don't think he drew the charge anyway. I think his feet
he was straight up and down.
His feet was moving though. Look at him shift his body.
Here he comes.
See?
Yeah.
Nah, he didn't draw the charge. Nah, he didn't draw the charge. That's a defensive foul. But here's the thing. We had the benefit of a slow motion replay. And the ref, it's a bang-bang call for the ref.
That's Sylvester Williams. I'm Joe Hilsman. John Morgo also here with you. And let Sly have that. He liked that. He liked the SUV TV toys.
I tell you, man. I tell you.
We need to get him a telestrator.
Oh, God, no.
If we get to tell it straight, I'm like John Madden. I'm all over.
He's going to be Picasso on the thing.
You're going to see lines and everything.
78-72. 100 seconds. Here's DeJuan Odom into the forecourt. Worked on defensively by Youngblood. Over to Murphy. Murphy puts it on the floor. Murphy drives, counted and a foul. Caleb Murphy.
And this is the second time today I've seen Murphy do that and go to the hole 2 hands and dunk it. I like this aggressiveness.
Murphy with 14 points. That's a big bucket coming out of the timeout and the opportunity to cut it to 3. Caleb Murphy, Grayson High School. Good. Completes the 3-point play.
Sounds strange, but we'll get used to it.
What sounds strange?
Grayson High School.
No, it doesn't.
Caleb Murphy, Grayson High School.
Now here's Raspberry. Raspberry to Frederick. Frederick to Sun. Sun looking. He puts it on the floor. Sun worked on by Murphy. Gonna drive into the corner. It's not there. 10 on the 30. Back now, here's Thrash. Thrash gonna go baseline. Garcia was there, so he put it up. Garcia bothered that shot with the defensive effort, but they got a new shot clock. 1 minute. 1 minute to go. 3-point ball game. They're gonna leave Frederick open. Now Garcia comes out on him. Here's a drive. Rashawn Frederick, the lefty, put it up. Back iron, no. Rebound, ripped off. Here's Davon Smith. They're running. Davon on the break. Davon all the way. He was fouled by Youngblood as he attacking to go to the free throw line with 2 shots. Coming up with 48 and 1:10 seconds. And a technical foul has been called.
Did he call it?
I heard that tweet.
I don't think he called it.
He just blew the whistle. Davon limping now, favoring something on the left side.
But you know what? That's a good foul. Yeah. You see his leg bulging, too. I can see the cramp in his leg.
Oh.
That's a good, hard, clean foul. You know what? I hate to say it.
Hold on, Sly. I don't want to interrupt you. You got to pay attention right now. Who got fouled? Davon got fouled, but look who's trying to sneak in and try and shoot these free throws.
Hey, you put the best
Throw them. That's why I love the NBA rule. Because you don't shoot your free throws,
you can't play.
You're done.
You can't come back.
I wish they would do that in college. Celtics ought to just call a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, they can't. They got 1 left. I wouldn't burn that.
Go and bring Matt Davis in and let Matt shoot. Oh, no, they're going to let DeJuan Odom
Nah,
shoot.
DeJuan Odom,
Odom was moving
he
his
was
way
the
over.
one working to the free throw line. They're going to check Davis into the game. Now they're going to talk about it. Let's see. Or did they call it intentional?
I don't think it's intentional. Well,
I don't think it is either.
Well, that's coach of the Celtics. They wanted it a flagrant foul, an intentional foul to be called.
We need to go and mic up the ref.
That's what we need.
Oh, they're gonna so Matt Davis is gonna come in and shoot the free throws.
Yep.
Davis is a sniper, but he's been on that bench cold in this cold building. Let's see.
And we got the AC blasting here, which makes it nice from that 90-degree temperatures outside. My glasses fog up when I walk outside.
Davis, let's see, off the bench, cold. Good, Matt Davis.
Shoot or shoot.
First points of the game. Davis, good. Big free throws, cut it to 1. For the second time today, it's down to 1. It's 78-77. A timeout is called with 48 and 1:10 seconds. So the Knights have a 1-point lead. They have led the entire game. This is the second time that the Celtics have cut it to 1.
Now look at this thing right here. It's only 14 fouls on the Celtics, so they can't really extend the game by just calling fouls and trying to foul and send them to the free throw line. They have to play real defense and hope nothing crazy happens.
Well, this is why, Sly, this is a perfect example of why Georgia high school needs the shot clock. Mm-hmm. You've got to shoot so they can get the ball back at 18 seconds. All you have to do is play defense. You don't necessarily have to foul.
No, you don't.
Exactly.
And right now, I don't care what you say at home, I'm not fouling. I'm going to play defense.
Yeah.
Because I've got the clock, and at the end of the day, if you get a shot clock violation, I've got 18 seconds on the differential to come down and do something. I'm not fouling. Inbound, foul given, side out of bounds. The difference now is still 13 seconds. Let's see, 40, 60,
1.3.
seconds.
1.3 seconds.
The clock just reset to 30 on the shot clock. It should not have, though. Shot clock shouldn't have reset. Did? Yeah, okay. He did. Oh, steal. Davis, floater, no, tip, fight for it. Now here they come up. And now there's a foul. They called it a foul. My apologies. Yeah, it does reset on the foul. Davis, quick trigger right there. They could have been patient, but still they've got the clock in their advantage. I still don't foul here.
No.
Well, now that you have the 6th foul, I would foul. Now it's 6 fouls, go ahead and foul. You go for the steal. Go for the steal. You don't get the steal, foul.
I still got the clock in my advantage, though.
And now you got 9 seconds.
It's a 9-second difference.
You shouldn't have let them get back to the middle of the court. Should have kept them on the sideline.
Sun drives, floater, short, no, rebound. Now you can hold for the final shot, but Odom's running. There's Lane, layup. No, follow Odom, yes. DeJuan Odom, their very first lead of the game, 79-78. 18 and 9/10 seconds. The Celtics have been trailing the entire game. and they take the lead for the very first time with 18 and 9/10 seconds. DeJuan Odom on the follow off of the lane miss. Odom got the rebound defensively, got the rebound offensively, and the tip.
Do you believe that?
Yes, I do.
They went straight in at it. Didn't even bother to run a set play to take the clock down. They're trusting their defense here, Joel, to hold them for the final 20 seconds.
And to their advantage, that's their game, the transition game, the go, go, go. But then the poise and the IQ of Odom to know I get the ball up ahead and then still running at the follow, the trail.
Now here's the question. The question is 18 seconds to go is how and when do you get the ball to Chris Youngblood? There's no question Chris Youngblood
Youngblood's getting it.
It's how do you get it to him and when does he shoot it?
They've adjusted the clock to 19 and 16 seconds. Mr. Official Tyrus has came over here. Well, look, this official right here has thrown me out of a number of games.
Oh, Youngblood's out the game. He's fouled out. I forgot.
That's what the discussion was over with the fouls. I heard that. Here's Thrash now with 11 seconds. Thrash gonna drive. Thrash put it up. The shot was blocked by Raspberry. Put it back up. 7 seconds. They got a 1-point lead. Here comes Davon Smith with 4, with 3, with 2. Davon spinning. Davon off the window. No tip. No ball game. The 17U championship for the Battle of Georgia goes to the Georgia Knights. 80-79. They led the entire game except for a few moments. The Celtics upset. They wanted a foul. They did not get it. And the Georgia Knights have won the Battle of Georgia 17U in thrilling fashion.
It's a good no call down there on the charge. I think, underneath the basket, great no call by the ref or letting them play. That's a good game. This is how you end the game right here.
Exactly. Look at this shot, and look at Raspberry being right there to get that junk in there after it was left for him. He was the only person in that slot. He had to see where that ball was going to go. Great way to play the angles and give his squad the championship, especially with their main shooter, Youngblood, out of the game because he fouled out.
10 points in the game for Ben Raspberry, who had the game-winning field goal, 8 of those 10 in the second half.
19
and
for
29 points for Chris Youngblood to lead the Georgia Knights.
But it was Raspberry. Got it in when it counted.
DeJuan Odom had 21. Davon Smith had 14. 15 for Caleb Murphy. Tenari Lane, 3, 6, 18, 13 points. But still, Chris Youngblood with 29. But it's Ben Raspberry, the game-winning field goal, to finish with 10 points and an 80-79 Georgia Knights victory over the Atlanta Celtics. We're glad that you've been with us all day right here on SUV TV's coverage of the Battle of Georgia, the second annual Battle of Georgia. For our entire crew that has been here today, Lisa Burnett, our wonderful producer, Sylvester Williams, John Morgo, I'm Joe Hilsman. We'll see you down the road. The SUV TV.com.